Yes, people, we are back for the best part of the show. Obviously, the whole show is good, but this is my favourite part. And we've got, again, an amazing guest. But this time, all the way from down under. We've had some issues with the time difference. He was ready last night because we thought it was going to be. He thought it was today or last night. Sorry. Yeah, so it's all messed us up. But we're here now. We finally done it, and we have got the elusive, the notorious Ctzn Awol. As I said, all the way from Oz. Ctzn Awol, how you doing, my bro?
What's up? Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Man, like the time difference. I mean, yeah, ahead of my time. What can I say?
You
I'm
are ahead of your time,
trying
mate.
my best. I'm trying to settle it down. But those 10 to 11 hours.
You're Marty
That's
McFly in this shit, bruv. You're Marty McFly in this shit.
yeah.
And
Next episode, I'm having Parkinson's. Uh,
yeah, so yeah, man, welcome to the show. And obviously we've got Dick Dastardly in his wonderful attire as well. We
Yeah.
thought
Do you mind if I take this mask off? Because I can't see or hear or breathe, and it's fucked.
to be honest, mate, it's a
yeah,
lot
no,
better than your
It's compulsory.
That's
oh
that's a bit better.
I was enjoying that.
I could-
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah. No
so I
wonder you're
can't.
suffocating.
Hang on.
Fuck.
That's a bit
The
better.
gift that keeps on giving.
The, the worst thing is I've got glasses on under here, and I can't actually see through anything. I can just see a blur of
I
you
can see,
guys. I don't even know what
I can
anyone.
see that outline.
I know it's crazy.
Oh, this is amazing.
This is
There we go.
this is like
Right,
the
I can
dad
see
that
better
wraps
now.
like a baseball for Christmas, and then he just keeps wrapping it in a bigger box and a bigger box, and you think, oh fuck yeah, I finally got my mountain bike that I always wanted, or you know,
Yeah,
in
and it
this
just
case, a
turns out to be
gyroscope.
me.
Yeah, what a disappointing Christmas that would be.
100%. Yo, but for real, I can't literally.
No, no, you gotta strip down. I mean, just the head part.
Oh man.
There we go.
Sorry, guys. I just kind of my eyes are like fucking burning from that shit.
He's got glasses
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
man.
Well,
He's Clark Hunting this shit. Clark Kent, Clark Hunt.
Yeah, for real, man. Just burned my eyes. I don't know if those fucking masks got chemicals in or shit, but wow.
I don't
Let's.
know. That could be you, bro. It could be a feedback loop, circumventing.
Man, well, I'm currently ill and I just got over an eye infection as well, so I like my whole head
Yeah,
is just
no,
thinking.
bro. Those eye infections, man. You just, too well. Too well, bro. You're too well.
Yeah. Oh, well, anyway, good to see as much of you as I can see at the
That's
moment.
it. That's it. And thank you guys. Thanks for taking the time, having me, and checking out some of the tracks. I mean, I know that some of my work, and I'm trying to kind of remain a little bit elusive at the moment, but the people out there that know that, if you know kind of thing. And I think some of the stuff that I send in for the show that you guys will no doubt listen to, play, and everyone else will get to hear. It's going to be the type of stuff where I'm really fortunate to get
I'll
to have
take
a
this off as
platform
well.
to
So,
share that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, strip off too. By the end of the show, we're all just sweaty, and it's summer over here too. So
there we go.
you know, I'm glad I didn't do what Dick was doing,
We
Yeah.
tried.
multi-condoming
Yeah.
Yeah, so bro, obviously, yeah, appreciate you sending the tracks across. Obviously, the show's dedicated to yourself, but how we normally start off the show, well, obviously it isn't with fucking stupid masks like me and Dick have. Yours is obviously dope, but yeah,
I got it from
yes,
the art shop for $3, bro. I was,
mate, I
I
like it.
wanted,
At least it leaves it to the imagination. Whereas I had to creep into my son's room while he slept to nick that, to steal that out of his underneath his bed. And obviously,
Mm.
Dick was, the human condom. So
Yeah.
can't get better.
I bought mine for some music videos about 8 months ago and just never done the video. So now I just sit in my house wearing a mask, like cool. Chilling, like.
But yeah, bro. So let's obviously hear about yourself. We obviously normally how we start the show. If you haven't been on
Mm.
before, we just want to know, who you are, what you're about, where you're from, and all that jazz, And yeah, we'll go from there, mum. So, Citizen Awol, who the fuck are you, bro?
Yeah, Citizen Awol, man. Basically, I'm an AWOL citizen of my I no, I like to keep it to the conventions. The conventions of what I experiment in musicality wise. I'm a citizen. I'm AWOL to that. You take the whole sort of AWOL missing in action sort of soldier that serves, but he's AWOL, and I take it back to that kind of like 80s, era flick where a lot of my references are like 80s, 90s movies in my hip hop, my rap. I'm I push the pen and I push the pen as hard as I possibly can, and so much so that I guess some of the grain around me from my down under origins, it might be too much just for my circle. So I'm all about international, like trying to it's international, not people though. I'm trying to bridge the gap between scenes and not be bound by the kind of constraints of too much of a localizing,
Hmm.
that can come with so I think there's beauty in local hip hop scenes. Don't get me wrong. I've been in a local hip hop scene for many, many years, hence the mask. Um, but for me, I feel as Citizen AWOL when adopting this moniker, it is incredibly imperative to the integrity of my work that as an artist, if you are, and we all feel this at times, you feel maybe outcasted from the scene or in your own way where it's like you kind of don't fit in the mold. And Outcast themselves, like Andre 3000, their whole group is based on this concept. But then, you know, and aliens and everything, they're like in the roots of hip hop, I think that poor man struggle, but that also outcast, that drifter, that lone wolf, that is a part of all of our story. Like we all
Hmm.
experience that. And myself as an artist, as Citizen AWOL, I'm here to stretch this and extend over this or alley oop over this barrier between what can be binding to a scene localized, whether it's Australia or even UK or even the US. And I want to work with artists and like yourselves, and K-Saulz, for example. I got you and your good graces to feature on an album that I'm currently working on,
Yeah,
featuring
man.
only international artists apart from myself as the only Down Under,
Nice.
and one other artist from Down Under, who I have linked in the emails. But none other, and he'll remain nameless for the time being until till he makes an appearance on the album. Well, I like to keep some artists, you know, like like a little bit of surprise, kind of like yourself did. Just
Yeah.
pulling the masks off each
Yeah,
one
yeah.
at a time.
Revealing
But
when it needs to be revealed, like, yeah,
I mean,
100%.
before we talk about the album, let's hear about obviously where you're from, bro. Where did it all start for you? How did you get into to writing? Did you start off as a writer or start off as a producer or some other route, graffiti, whatever it may be? Yeah, let's hear a bit about the
mm,
origins of you as the person, man, behind the mask, obviously.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's funny. One of my earlier tracks was actually called "Behind the Mask." Off a mixtape I did, back in the day, and it was just old Jack beats. But you know, back in the origins, man, back in the origins, it was I started beatboxing and writing at a similar time, and
Hmm.
I was absolutely fascinated with beatboxing. Absolutely fascinated. And you guys have an incredible beatbox scene. Um, and I always saw Australia as like the little cousin to the UK, and then
Hmm.
your like hip hop scene at the same time as the beatbox scene, they kind of coincided in exploding. Um, they had beatbox battles in Belgium, hosted by back in the day it was Beatbox Battle TV, and the main host was a beatboxer called Bilo, and I watched like as a teenager, like I remember I was just in the library, had my like earphones on like right now, and I'm like recording through the earphone piece into my old Motorola, all these beatbox battles, learning their beatboxing from just listening, and then it's just this horrible quality of sort of that's all you can hear in this Motorola recording. But like I'm like I remember it enough, and later on, I guess you kind of learn that, oh, I got ADHD. Okay, cool. Well, I was like using percussion, mouth percussion, as this thing of like stimming, of like repetitive sound to process sort of thing. So beatboxing became a tool,
Sorry, did you
and
say AD? Did you
beatboxing,
say ADHD? Did you or?
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
sorry. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Yeah, the line keeps cutting out, bro, a little bit. So just to warn you there. Yeah.
Yeah, if I need to move outside, just let me know. Give me like a get the
It's
fuck
all
out.
right now. It's all right, but it just keeps cutting in and out a little bit. But I think you're good for now. Good for now. Just to give
All
you a
right.
little heads up, man. But yeah. Anyway, sorry. Carry on.
Yeah, no, so the ADHD sort of side of things, like, as a young teenager, you kind of, that's another outcast sort of thing, you're kind of like, you kind of don't fit in with other peers, other people, and you kind of feel like, oh, well, like, I've got this element, and then, this element of hip hop that I'm learning, and then I'm writing at the same time. And the beauty happened when I learned this thing, throat bass. Whoa, 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 whoa. And so for me, and that's really hard to do under a mask, but for me, but for me, once I hit this plateau of practice, and I was just fucking annoying everyone. I was just like, just super fucking annoying to everyone. Just everywhere I fucking went until like one day, I'm listening to some artists in the UK beatbox wise, as well as writing. And some of the early artists were like Cold of the Damned that I was listening to from the UK.
hmm
But my roots started with hip hop writing with the Wu-Tang. And Wu-Tang Clan was, apart from like Eminem, I remember being exposed when I was like 10 years old, just hearing the Marshall Mathers LP, parents broke up. I'm hearing Kim as a 10-year-old kid in the back of the car, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is my dad. Like, like, and then, but realistically, my skills kind of like I bounced off beatboxing and then writing seriously and then beatboxing seriously to the point where I got really, really exceptional at beatboxing, won a title in Australia
Wow.
and did a bunch of judging for the national beatbox scene before it exploded into the scene that it is now with like, thousands and thousands of followers
hmm
um, and linked to the international scene. So I saw the beatbox scene excel,
hmm
but what I hadn't seen was the local hip hop community of writing and rap itself
hmm
do that same, have that same outlet or connection. And so that's what I want to start as Ctzn Awol. That's where my pen led me. So the beatbox side was one of my strong elements and still is. But and even much so, I got a daughter and she's just a little baby and she requests that I beatbox and she goes, does these little fart sounds, and then she wants me to beatbox with her, and then that's how she. So we do a song every night, and it's
Oh,
like
that's
the same
wicked.
sort of beatbox routine, and she just loves it, and then she goes to sleep, and that's it. Like no, it's like not overstimulating. It's just like she just loves this musicality, this phononic sort of language. So
That's
beatboxing
brilliant.
was a big start, yeah, but writing really boomed when I met other writers, and I left school at like I don't know, it was like year 11, first day. Just teachers wanted me to take off my hat. You know the whole thing where they're like, you're that kid, we're gonna fucking annoy you, and it's just like, you know what, like I got a problem with, you know, making like I got to keep the hat on. I got a horrible hairline. Like, I'm 17 years old. But make me fucking take my hat off in front of everyone. So I was like, nah, screw this. Pursued rap, got on local radio stations with a bunch of like little like crews that were like kind of local hip hop communities from towns over, and
Hmm.
then that expanded into like opening for artists like so in Australia, we used to have Obese Records, which is what Hilltop Hoods were originally from. And,
Right.
you know, Hilltop Hoods, Bliss and Esso, they're probably the biggest sort of internationally recognized artists. Um, and I think, like where it led me, I ended up opening for artists like Pez as a beatboxer, but as a rapper too. So I had a half set. I had a beatbox as an intro set, and then
Hmm.
Yeah.
weave it into rap and everyone like that you're embodying the elements and where it comes from. You so you're letting the culture live through you and you're expanding and or adding your part to it and not taking from it but providing something. And I've always been about that. I taught youth then when I was 19, disadvantaged youth as a integration program outside to prevent youth from getting into crime, giving them outlet, something useful that they can take home. What's more
Hmm.
useful than beatboxing? You don't need any instrumentation. You just need to show up and I could show you a little trick and you can take that home and then at the season, like autumn or summer, we're going to have a big show. And we could then go down to St Kilda in Melbourne,
Hmm.
and there's a festival at the end of the year. And if you're still like honing your skills, jump up on stage and we'll do a group beatbox sort of demonstration for all of St Kilda, and that happened 2 years in a row. And I was like a bit of a mentor kind of thing too to a lot of youth, so I was passing that on and always just trying to be a trying to be an advocate for spaces when you don't have a space or for outlets when you don't have an outlet, especially for the ones that might feel for those that might feel outcasted. Yeah.
How long were you
So
doing
that's
that
that's
for?
kind of like the beginning.
Yeah.
And what sort of age was that you were
How
doing?
long as a mentor?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what sort of age was
I
that
was
and how long?
19.
Right, cool.
So I was like, I start, yeah, 19, and then but I kind of fell into it around 18, and I was there till about, yeah, 20. And and it was around 25 where I won my first title, but I was already judging national beatbox championships 2013, 2012. I was judging and showcasing as a feature beatboxer for the national beatbox. Each year we'd have a national beatbox championships. Um, and I was going up to Sydney and doing it there. Or we had the first one in Melbourne and then the second one in Sydney, and then it just boomed. And then it went after that. I kind of after 2005, 2025. Sorry. No, I got my years wrong. After I was 25, 2000 and something. I don't fucking know. Time zones, man.
10 years ago. Let's say 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, 11 hours ago, right?
Yeah.
So so I got I got the title in Victoria and I was 25 and I versed some like this one artist and I'll shout him out, CLR. um he was a he was a younger cat, very technical, very fast, very serious beatboxer, and deserved the title just as much as I. And I think it just came down to performative sort of aspects in the end because we were both technical and skillful in our own ways. But like that after that, I kind of left the beatbox scene because for me it was for me, I noticed in beatboxing, what I did was if I'm not doing it in a cipher as like the beat man But then also rapping, like I'm like, you're gonna fucking beatbox. Someone's gonna beatbox because I got a fucking dope. I got some dope bars to spit. And freestyle, like I have a lot of fun with that. Freestyle rap. Um, so much so that my daughter just babbles with me, and I chuck a beat on, man. Like she'll just babble with me, no matter what it is. Um, or, or we've
I
still
just,
got
I,
everyone.
I think we just lost Dick. That's cool. And we'll carry on, man. I'm sure he'll come back in.
Should we? Should we wait?
No, no, it's all good. Carry on.
Okay. Um, but yeah, like so freestyle rapping, beatboxing. I realized after I won the title, I just wanted to set myself up with an achievement, and I achieved it. And it was a practice of like visualizing your mind winning psychologically, like manifesting that and testing myself, and then also putting the practice in as well.
Hmm.
And once I achieved that, that was it for me because I know that it doesn't have the substance. Beatboxing is fun, performative, and it's a real like cool party trick. But you can only go so far. After a while, for me, I felt because I wanted to convey meaning and pass knowledge on, and I could only do that through my writing and raps and music and push conventions in a different way. And I knew that the international beatbox scene was booming, and the convention pushing in the building of and development of techniques and skills and scenes and such. Every new year, there's an international beatbox championship, and
Hmm.
the skill level is so high now. Um, but for me, I wanted to then resume intensely focusing on how and what is my message as a writer. And so I have a few monikers before Citizen AWOL, and a few of those tracks you'll be either linked to or will have played on the show today.
Hmm.
Um, and that's for the if you know you know sort of crowd. But I'm happy to talk about that as well. Teacher Anima is alter ego. Teacher Anima is where I ended up after the beatbox battles when I was 25, and I started writing an album. My first album was Mox, and metaphor for transformation, kind of Kafka-esque almost. Um, the whole metamorphosis idea, but embodied as you know a dweller of the modern society, like in the struggles internally. Some of the things that I talked about on Moss still hold up today,
Hmm.
and then later on, I did an album Circle, which was my more recent album. Um,
When did that
and I
drop?
produced, that was 2000, it was 2000, so Moss was 2018, and it's on Teacher Anima Bandcamp if anyone wants to look at it. There's a bunch of like little loose tracks that have been released there too. But
And and sorry to
Circle
interrupt you there, but
was released.
the tracks that you sent over to us, they were from Circles, was it?
So the first three were from the upcoming album Under Citizen Awol,
Yeah,
and they're debuting on your show, so they
yeah,
haven't
man.
been heard before. Um,
Absolute
and
bangers.
the other two were from Circle, yeah. So
Yeah.
Circle was entirely produced by myself. I think it was 2000 and fuck man, I'm rough. Because of COVID, I think it was 2023. It might have been released 2022, 2023. Um, and I produced the whole album except Ghostlands, which I linked you the track to, and um that's for everyone. They can check that out. That's on Bandcamp. That was produced by my brother Batara Pardo.
Oh,
Um,
cool. Is that older brother,
and
younger
he's a
brother?
younger brother. Yeah, yeah,
Younger brother. And so he's into hip hop and stuff, and he's a producer as well, is he? Or does he rap as well? Or
yeah. So he raps. He's a bit more like his style's more idea-esque.
well, what?
If I
Sorry.
was to encapsulate it, like if I was to encapsulate his style, it'd be more like idea.
Yeah.
you know, from idea and abilities. A bit more idea-esque. Um, and you know, just but even at the same time, he's still his own entity.
Yeah.
Very convention pushing. Records his own. He's like got guitar, you know, synth, everything. Records it,
Oh,
builds it
awesome.
all.
Awesome.
Sound
Awesome.
full sound construction. So yeah, that's kind of like. But Circle was a very big body of work that I produced um, solely except Ghostland's track, which will be played on the show, which Bakara Kato produced. But that body, that whole circle, that was my first shot at translating beatbox into production.
Mm-hmm.
How can I produce these ideas from my mouth then into a sampler and into machine is what I used
Mm-hmm.
primarily.
Mm-hmm.
And how can I flip sounds and samples and then make drums out of those samples? So how can I do it with a 1960s vintage synth record? How can I make a drum out of it when there's no drum on it? Like, you know, so experimenting, and that's the amalgamation of all that experimentation production wise.
Yeah.
And then the message as teacher animal was a teacher of, so it was Jungian. And I've heard you, K-Saulz, talk about on the show a lot. You talk about the this place you write from. You're like a conduit. Like you, it's like
Yes.
you're channeling it, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, yeah. That space is that anima bridge. The anima is the bridge, the subconscious bridge between the unconscious, but the full individual, the self, realized. And it's I guess, as Carl Jung, a psychoanalyst,
Yeah.
in the early 1900s, talked about Gustav Jung. He talked about the process of individuation being the full development of an individual, and that's there's layers to it. It's like persona, ego, shadow, anima, the bridge between the conscious and the subconscious, and
Mm-hmm.
then the self at the core, which is
Mm-hmm.
like the philosopher's stone or whatnot. So that that process that you talk about writing from is the process I talk about teaching myself from. Teacher
Mm-hmm.
Animal is a teacher of myself through
Mm-hmm.
my and Circle focused on a lot of trauma, intergenerational trauma.
Yeah.
So there's a whole storyline, and I wrote it in a way where it was like a symbol. It was I'm talking in symbols so that you can attach your own meaning to it, and it's not designated as only my story. So I attach a symbol and what that symbol means to you on Circle. So whole language, I never reference I, me, or mine.
Mm.
And it's a listening journey for the individual to interpret their own individuation story or to overcome their own uh, whatever it might be, internal traumas, struggles,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
demons. It's meant to operate as a soundboard, as an interpretation, like a piece of art, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like it's meant to operate as a space where the audience are able to, you know, think more deeply or intently about what their internal symbols and attachments are in their story. So it's quite that's what I wanted to get to when I was writing, you know, earlier on, and I achieved that with Circle, and now I'm onto a different path, and that different path after Circle, I've realized there isn't a place here for me in a sense of what I want to do now. I want to experiment with other artists, other scenes, and find the gap between what is the similarity between your scene and language and the things that bind you to a collective from a different country, and what are the similarities between you and myself or us as a group? You know, it's like we do have that core hip hop thing, but there's something unique. There's a dynamic that I don't think that we're exploring as much. You know, like if we're all mates kicking back, you know that dynamic's there, right? But if we're all mates internationally, you know, I think it shines through on music. I think it shines through on music and writing. You really can tell a lot about an individual. So you can really build on a lot with another artist as an individual. And I feel like as a person that wants to experience more and always challenge myself, I want to write with with those that challenge myself, and I kind of reached my capacity, I guess the glass ceiling, you could call it, in a sense of who can I collaborate with. I'm finding more excitement collaborating with the artists that I get to collaborate with on this new album, as Ctzn Awol, the great artists, um, artists like yourself, K-Saulz,
Thank you, man.
artists like um, so some of the feature artists, like I can name a few if you want.
Mate,
So
we we're obviously playing the tracks on the show, so yeah, let people know about the album.
right.
Obviously, absolute honor to jump on the track as well. Actually, I mean, when we recorded this, I actually recorded my bars for you today, and it'd been a
Yeah,
while,
yeah,
obviously.
it's so dope.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Dude,
So much
the
fun.
timing was impeccable.
Yeah, so much fun, man. So much fun doing it as well. I hadn't actually recorded for about 4 months probably. My studio's been in the building for about it's been being built for about 8 months now, 9 months. But then obviously I've recorded around other mates' houses and stuff, but I just haven't had that. I used to record a lot, write bars,
Mm.
record because I had it all there set up. But now, like just today, just to try to record it took me ages. My kids kept coming in and out the kitchen, and it was just like, but I managed to get it done, and yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. So I do appreciate that. Thank
Dude,
you very much.
I think your choice of beat too. So I remember I sent you a bunch, and this is what I've been doing. It's like I've got a few big names on as features that are locked in, and I I want to operate the album as a gesture of like, if you put your all into a verse and into a feature, like I want to open it up to people internationally. So if there's any artists watching this, there's still some open spots for the Ctzn Awol, the Great Artist album.
Come
I'm
on.
going to name a few of the
You
biggest
should ask Dick Dastardly as well, man.
features.
Dick is a heavy spitter. So
Dick,
unfortunately, Dick had to.
absolutely, man. Like,
Yeah, Dick's fucking really sick, man. And unfortunately, he had to leave the interview just to let people know he wasn't being rude. He actually threw up. He's been really unwell today, but he really wanted to do the interview. So big up to Dick. Thank you for obviously giving it your best shot. Um, but yeah, he threw up.
hey,
He had to
man.
go off air. So big up, Dick. I hope you're all right, man.
Man,
And
really,
big love
bro.
to you,
Oh,
brother.
it's all those condoms on your head, man. All those
Exactly that.
condoms on your head, they're gonna fuck you up, dude. Like,
The sick is
you gotta
basically the
you gotta
equivalent
take it
of
easy,
him
dude.
of him ejaculating, basically from his
Yeah,
mouth.
yeah. It
Took the
is with all
condom
the
off,
yeah,
and
yeah. Like,
that's anyway.
go on, roll, go on, roll.
We were talking about your your album, the
No, no, no.
great
Look.
artiste.
I hope you feel better, Dick. Just more than 3 times, bro. Come on. Um, no, but
Exactly that, man. Dick unsheathing himself, then he pukes, but that's just a euphemism for actually, coming from his mouth
yeah.
as his. Anyway, we're getting too deep on this. Let's.
Releases, man, releases, right? And
Anyway,
speaking of releases, I'm gonna
enough,
segue.
enough of the metaphors. Let's move on to what we were talking about, which is obviously your album. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
No, no, it's all good, bro. I was fortunate enough to have yourself feature, and the beat choice that you picked I thought was really interesting because the stuff that I listened to from yourself earlier on, I was like, oh, dude, this is totally in your vein. Like, it's a bit of a kind of double time sort of slower jam beat, but the I guess the atmosphere was your vein, and I remember hearing it and I was like, yeah, yeah. Like, I've got some inspiration from just listening to, and I like to pick it up. Like, you send me a verse, um, then I'll write, because I want to keep it, I want to build on or execute my writing in accordance to the dynamic you bring. I don't want to just, oh, here's the fucking dope verse. You just drop a dope verse, and that's fucking it. Like, I want to build. I want to build on you and what you're said, and build on this as artists and collaborate truly. And I want to test myself and how I can do that. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
one of the big names on the album and one of the tracks that I'm going to be kind of talking about building is with Paco. I had the fortunate luck of getting Paco as one of the major features for the album from the UK. And Paco was on your show. Um, absolute, absolute giant. So,
Yeah, bud.
one of my favorites. You know, he's always been someone that I've listened to, and I'm like, you fucking make me want to push a pen harder. I'd love to do a
100%.
track with him one day. And originally, I actually had him lined up for Circle,
Yeah.
but that kind of feature, I bided my time a bit because I wanted to do it with this project, and I knew that this was the kind of thing that I wanted to do it with.
Mm.
And that's then now one of the tracks that I'm premiering today is like with Capo, the first time, you know, Ctzn Awol, Capo, Visualize, that's going to be played. And that is the embodiment of exactly the collaborative spirit that I want to bring to writing. And Capo brings a verse, and it's
Sorry, Ctzn Awol, bro. I think your microphone's
go
gone a
for it,
bit
go
weird.
for it.
I can hear some feedback on there. I don't know if
Is this any better?
that's much better. That's much better. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, carry on.
um,
Sorry, bro.
no,
Capo,
no, no, it's all right.
Capo, go.
Caps brought like this verse that was like we had some loose ideas, and I definitely let him know like I want bar work, you know, like but bar work in a sense of like deeper, intense bar work. This kind of like, you know, not just skill flexing, but what deeply are you passing on through that? You know,
Mm,
that it's not just like braggadocious, it's braggadocious in the sense of a deeper sense of self.
mm.
Braggadocious in the sense of like a struggle or and so I gave him a stimulus which was heard a break in, rumbling through the walls while they're yelling like my voices do. Right?
Mm.
That was a lyric and I was just me like spitting some some of that over the track as a video, and I sent that to him. He said, "I'll get back to you in a month, man," and sends me this verse, and it's just an absolute like
The
monolith
beast. It's
of
a beast, mate.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I love the
and
way
I
he
couldn't
switched up the
expect any
flow as well,
less.
man. Yeah, I know. But when you switched up the flow as well later on down and started to go more sort of double time and stuff, man. You did the same as well, bro. And you done some sick little flows there. And obviously the bars, like I'll have to listen to that track a few times to really sort of be able to absorb it because there's so much in there. I'd like to unpackage it. It takes me a bit more time. But it's not one of those tracks you want to just listen to and
Just skim
like
over, and it's like, oh no, the banger.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah, yeah,
track you
yeah,
have
yeah.
to keep going back. I'll probably have to listen to that like many times for to get every sort of the whole full essence of
Hmm,
it, because there's so many bars
absolutely.
packed in. As I said, so many like concepts, and also there's some simpler stuff in there, but also just in the way that it's obviously presented. Um, yeah, man, it's like, and obviously Capo's a master at doing that, and obviously I thought you held your own against somebody like him, man. So big up to yourself. Obviously the bars were sick, and obviously the flows were sick as well. But yeah, man.
No,
So
appreciate, man.
no. Obviously it's absolute six track, and obviously people are gonna listen to it as well, and they can make their own judgment of it, man. But on that subject, you obviously mentioned there's other artists on there as well. There's also another heavy spitter, which I think is a very underrated UK artist, in my opinion, or rapper at least, doesn't get enough talking about. I mean, would you be willing to obviously mention him, or are you okay? There's
I
another
know you can't
feature
tell
on
my
the
facial expressions right now.
right.
Maybe you can tell by my eyes.
Yeah, so obviously you've yeah
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one.
yeah
As
yeah.
well. So
But
one
I
of the
know
other features.
but I know there's two, but I'm not gonna get you to say
Yeah, there's one I've got to keep on a
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
got
We
to
don't want to
keep on
give
the
everything away. We don't want to give everything away. But there's another one. Are you willing to talk about that person, the one who I'm talking about,
yeah,
or did you want me to keep it hush
yeah,
hush?
yeah. No, no. I can talk. I can say, and I got his good graces. Um, I'll keep it kind of short, but another one of the great features that I got for this album, which I'm really excited about, is Ed Scissor. Ed Scissor, Ed Scissor Tongue. Everyone's known him from the High Focus Records
Yeah, man.
label, and all the work with like Dirty Dyke and everyone, and Lamplighter, and
Lamplighter, man, and him were fucking the music they made together was amazing, man.
incredible, man. Fucking dope, dope. One of my favorite artists. He reminded
People don't
me
give him
of
enough credit, man. His bars like Theremin, I think it is. Fucking that track.
Theremin. That's like
Fucking
what we're living in right now, man.
it's fucking brilliant
Like,
track, man. Brilliant track. And he's done a lot of good ones as well. But as I said, all his lamplighter stuff, that's art. It's
mm,
same as what Capo does. And I
yeah,
think you chose
yeah,
two artists that are very similar in the way they present their music. Because he's gone off and he's doing like he's doing literature and stuff now, doing poems and all that stuff for Ed Scissortongue is, right? And writing, I think he's
yeah.
writing books and all that sort of shit, as well as Capo is a scholar, man. He's a scholar himself. Do you know what I mean? And I think they're
Yeah,
both in that same mindset, man. So I think it's a very nice blend of artists that you've got obviously on it, obviously because of those two being so similar. I think, in my opinion, in the way they present their art.
yeah. I think so. It's really interesting because the literature side is exactly what. So the stuff that I talk about on the Capo track is an embodiment of the essence of why I wanted to ultimately get Ed Scissor as a feature and Capo and one of these, a few other guys is like is the essence of literature in it, right?
Mm,
Is in the art form of bar work, rap, whatever we write, it's poetic. There's a literature.
mm.
There's a love for literature in it, and there's artists. So Capo was talking on his episode because I had the chance to watch a few episodes. And you guys like the Capo episode. He talked about how he went to university, right? And
Mm.
I started years ago when I was doing the beatbox. Um, when I was in my beatbox uh era of getting my title, I ended up I was doing a creative and professional writing course. I was doing a bachelor of that, and then I moved on to visual arts. So I got work by myself. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I I've always been like writing and literature based. So I thought that was really interesting. I didn't know that about Caps, is that he went to uni, got his master's, or and and all his degree, and
Yeah.
studied literature itself. And someone like Ed Scissor is very, very well versed, very well read, very well written. I I I know that I'm very grateful to have even just those two artists that I definitely can announce from the UK as some of the really big heavy hitters as um as artists that are featuring on this album. And the Ed Scissor side of things, it's like it's a real so we're working at the moment, and I'm not featuring that track today. That's going to be something uniquely for the album. um, so stay tuned to the Ctzn Awol Instagram because I'll keep little updates and snippets and glimpses, and you might only catch it in a story. But if you want to hear your favorite artist rap, you know, you know where to come. Because Ed Scissor, I haven't heard Ed Scissor do a feature with anyone, so I'm very, very, very like apart from like Ocean Wisdom and that group
Mm.
and on High Focus, I haven't really heard him do a lot of work with anyone else. So it's a real blessing, and I feel
He's
real
he used to
humble.
do Contact Play as well. Did you ever listen to them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Mr. Key and
Yeah,
like
yeah. Mr.
fucking love
Key was
Mr.
a
Key,
fucking
bro.
another heavy spitter as well, man.
Yeah, dude.
Mr. Key was
But
sick
the
as well.
whole
Yeah.
the whole crew, like one of their Contact Play records is like where Ed gets his beard slapped onto his face
Mm.
in his verse in the music video. Like that whole era is what I was watching when I was writing my like first album, Moths, as Teacher Anima.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like I remember thinking like one day I'm gonna jump on a track with these dudes. And same with Papo. I was listening to Karma. I was listening to the uh, overly dramatic fortune, uh, fortune, overly dramatic fortune to change or something. No, overly something about fortune to change. One of his albums, Papo's albums, earlier albums. I think it was his like third big studio album, and it had Oud on it, which is a banger. And I was watching their whole era and the UK as a collective, and Lee Scott working with Dirty Dyke and Butterfly and
Mm,
all those like dope albums and dope eras. I was built on that, and I knew one day I want to come work with these artists because these are artists that are figuratively like lover of literature, scholars, and I felt like that's where I'm at, you
mm.
know, in not their skill level, not in not saying like that. I'm trying to be my own beast, but I'm definitely saying like I'm a scholar, and I know that these people are scholars and lover of literature, lover of lyrics, poetry, all that. The linguistic gymnastics and expressiveness that comes with writing, the love of the art and craft and technical aspects of it. Papo, Ed Scissor, you know, they're some of the best that I could ask for to have on the album, and to be able to collaborate with some of the people that I see as people I silently compete with is
Yeah,
is
man.
is something that I couldn't be any more grateful for, man. And then to have artists like yourself then contribute because it's different tiers of realms that we're contributing from,
Mm.
different skill sets, different backgrounds, different origins, different cities, different. I'm trying to unify, you know. I'm trying to unify, not put more of a stake in the separation in places, trying to unify international spaces and scenes and collectively come and coalesce together and add together,
Mm-hmm.
collaborate together,
100%,
connect
man. That's
and
what it should
build.
be about, bro. Do you know what I mean?
That's it.
Like,
That's it. Not
there shouldn't be
gatekeeping,
any.
man.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. And that's how beautiful art is made, mate. It's not made just to, have restrictions on it. And once you start restricting stuff, then it takes it away from the essence of what it's supposed to be, which is a true expression of yourself, you know? And every person has
That's
that
exactly
version,
it.
that story, and the way they want to present it is there. I think, I always feel like it's almost something I was made here to do. Like this is my purpose. Like there
Yeah,
isn't
because
anything
how
because
long
I've
ago was it? How
because
long
I've
ago
tried.
was it when you were writing?
Well, I started quite. I don't know. I suppose it was because I was a drum and bass MC from first, like from probably about 15, maybe a little
Yeah,
bit 14, 15, and then I developed into hip hop later on. So that was my kind of my journey, man. But
that's
yeah,
dope. That's dope.
Sorry, what were we saying?
Oh, I just think that's dope, bro. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that progression through and having different backgrounds, different scenes. Like you're being a drum and bass origin, and myself like with beatboxing, like one of
Yeah,
my
yeah.
early forms was like one of my favorite styles was drum and bass. That whole like building up and drops and beatbox. Like we've got a similarity. It's
Mm,
like everyone's got some sort of thing that they're interested in.
that's
You
it.
know
That's
that
it.
that that you
It's
share a similarity and commonality with. Yeah.
yeah, that's it, man. That's it. Like you all bring in like an essence of yourself, and yeah, and depending on how you want to present that, do you know what I mean? Like you almost feel it's like
Mm,
your like mission to do this. If you're doing anything else, I get fucking. I've had like tried to stop loads of times, man, and like I just get depressed, mate. Whenever I'm not doing something creative, I'm not myself. I'm not the
mm,
person like, but I can be for my family. I'm more snappy, and I've had to,
mm,
my missus like said, I'd rather you just be doing it. I know it's hard
mm,
because obviously I had I had a baby and stuff, and it was like I was going to have another baby as well, and it was just getting time the amount of time you have to put in it to go to shows. Some nights I
mhm,
was out doing, being out in shows and stuff while my missus at home and my baby and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking, and so, and I've had to stop a few times, but then my missus just sees how fucking my persona changes and how down I am
Mm,
and stuff, and I have to fucking do it.
mm,
And I said to her, look,
yeah.
it might be an obsession. It might come over, might come across to you as an obsession, but I will never stop doing this, and I will just carry on doing it wherever it takes me. I've never aimed to like have something like I don't know, like stardom or anything like. I just want to be me, do the thing I love doing, and whatever comes
Mm,
from that, it will be for the universe that brings it to you because you're in line with what you're here to do. That's how I feel anyway.
that's
Like
it,
that's
man.
why I get opportunities coming to me because I'm just in line. I'm in tune with what I've got to do. This is my mission to bring something more. This is a hope because of the world that we live in now.
Mm,
We're the
mm,
voice of the people. We bring a certain energy that can affect the planet and change things and inspire people and make things better. And it depends how you use this power because music is a powerful tool, right? And if you use it
exactly.
for you can use it for good, you could use it for evil because everything's based on sound vibrations. Sound vibrations affect everything. In fact, human beings are just it's all sound. And vibrations are very, very fucking powerful. They can affect your emotion, the way you react. And music, yeah, we have a gift, we have an ability to be able to communicate our truest version of our souls to the whole people to inspire them to be better versions so we can create a better future for other people. The core of hip hop has always been to speak from the people, from the heart, to
Mm,
struggle, to say that we don't have to live like this from the people who are trying to fuck us up all the time and
that's it,
controlling the
man.
world, all the thing. This is freedom. This is us being us. And you ain't going to ever fucking stop us doing this because we're doing it from our heart and we're telling you the truth. We're here to fucking make you understand that there's a better way to live. Fuck all this bullshit, these wars and all the shit that's happening on the planet. We're on a fucking mission, man. We're going to change this fucking planet because we have to
Mm,
fucking owe it to our future generations. I've got kids, man. I'm not going to leave them this fucking earth that's fucking
yeah.
being destroyed by these cunts who fucking think they got better things. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't give a shit. They
Dude,
fucking eat.
we just had
You
some
know what I
fucked
mean?
up shit happen in Australia, man.
That's it.
It's like a constant fucking thing, like, you know, but the thing that like, you know, we're surrounded by evils. We're surrounded by like things that are there to suppress us or there to you know, perpetuate the sense of like cattlehood, as I would call it.
Yeah.
But I think you're speaking from a true place, man. Like we're, you know, as a father myself, a newly a new to the father club, um,
Mm,
I I myself, man, I experience like what am I gonna do too? Like, you know, I can't put so much time to being away from her, but what I can do with her is I can write, I can record, I can do this bridge building that is connecting
mm,
and something that I feel like I don't see enough like definitely not a lot of like I see big artists like say someone like Hilltop Hoods from Australia, they might work with like, you know, like Pharaoh Monch, who's one of my favorite rappers, you know, Pharaoh Monch from fucking um Queens and fucking, you know, like the whole organized confusion era. Um I look at, you know, Bliss and Esso collaborate with different artists and these bigger names, there's a collaborating, there's getting a dope artist and someone that you really like on a track,
mm.
but then there's building with them. You know, there's
That's it, man.
building team. It's like
Yeah, it's a community, man. It's about building a community of people who are like-minded and who've got and trying to collaborate and create something new because we're already doing it ourselves. And you're almost like,
that's it, man.
yeah. It's a beautiful thing, man. You're making art and then you're expanding on it because you're coming off each other. Like, there's nothing more fun than you know writing with either people in the studio or you know bouncing off ideas and things like
Mm,
that, and obviously and even when you listen to another rapper on your beat, then it inspires you to write certain
mm,
things, and it's you might have
mm,
never ever written those things before if you hadn't listened to that particular
mm.
rapper say that particular thing. Does that make sense? Yeah.
That's it. That's it,
Yeah.
man. And I think when you're speaking from that place, hang on, what wait, I gotta grab some water. One sec.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, now I'm shielded back up. Not like Dick though. Um, I'm but speaking from that place that you were talking about, where it's like, you have this element of you're speaking from a true place. It's a place of like almost, some people might call it destiny, and I would say alignment within oneself too. Like, think of the subconscious as a super fucking computer where you're just calculating constantly, even in your dreams. Like your dreams are just calculations and fucking just this sense of like a fucking situation that's thrown out of proportion, but the essence of it is fear or like loss or grief or whatever. And you're
Mm.
constantly calculating, processing, like the brain is constantly doing this thing. And when you are aligned with your art, whatever your art form is. And in this case, for you and I, it's writing and singing and recording and making music
It's the heart,
and
it's everything,
sending and
man. It's
passing.
everything that comes with that, isn't it? The connections that you make along the way, the fucking because like make writing bars and spitting is only one thing, like that's made me want to do other things. And then because you have to promote music, you learn to do videography, and then you learn to do other skills because you have to create art for do you know what I mean? So you're learning and expanding your own art with other art because you have to do some of that anyway, and then you're making connections and you're learning from that as well, do you
Absolutely.
know? So
Absolutely. My biggest thing and my biggest, like, all that's all I can agree with, man. Like, my biggest thing is like, you gotta love what you're doing and you gotta follow it. You gotta align with it. Otherwise it's gonna eat you out from inside. Like you're gonna fucking rot. And we're already in a fucking world and environment where it encourages a lot of like superficial sort of um cancerous eating of the inside out sort of process with a lot of just shit. We're surrounded
mm,
by a lot of shit. So when we're passing on, connecting and conveying more of a meaning. And some of my meaning might be like you heard my shit on the capo track, for example. Like I'll just take that as an example, and I'll say some of it is like I'm challenging anyone and everyone, not as a diss, but as a like let's push our pen harder, let's build even further, let's think about things in different ways. Like I'm trying to encourage and provoke thought and provoke learning and building and I'm now going to try to do that internationally with other artists that are provoking me to think and to build on that. And that's all we have at the end of the day is being connected because
mm,
we've got so many reasons in the world that'll isolate us or outcast us or, keep us fucking separated
mm,
in fucking boxes with fucking masks on. Like,
mm.
look at what they're doing to me.
You're an inside man. No, I'm joking.
But, I think at the end of the day, man, like, yeah, like, so, just, I think the essence of what you've spoken about and what I speak about, um, that's it, man. It's like, I'm never here to tear down walls, but I'm definitely here to like fucking, let's build,
Mm,
let's think, let's construct, let's like create, let's think differently, let's critically think and encourage critical thinking and really just bring some more substance to the table. Like I got a lot of fucking shit I could talk about, but the stuff I want to talk about is maybe like I love just playing with words too, like as an artist, like so a lot of artists like the Eminems of the world, like that kind of sort of thing is like just like the love of playing with word, but then attaching meaning or or stretching out a chain. So I like to my agenda as Citizen AWOL is to
take
just
over the
fucking push
world.
just
We got
to put
ourselves a
many condoms
megalomaniac
on my
here,
head.
people. We got ourselves a megal.
The Unabomber, yeah, Ted
Yeah.
Kaczynski. I got this is my manifesto, dude. I'm fucking blowing up bombs and fucking nah. But like like my my agenda as Citizen AWOL is to push the conventions of what we know or what I know or what we share collaboratively and build on that and push that further than what we had. So the capo track, the structure is verse, verse, chorus, bridge. It's not, I'm not even, I'm trying to take pages from like Christopher Nolan and fucking Tarantino, man. I'm trying
Mm.
to structurally break things and push conventions. The fucking Weapon Hood track I sent you is like fucking 8 minutes long and it's just fucking bars. Like it's like why like for me it's like where are the parameters? I'm gonna fucking push against them because, I guess I'm from the outside of the box then. I'm the outcast. So what my job is then is to push that further and then extend that bar or do what I can to help connect people and extend that bar and build with other communities and extend that bar. So that's what my agenda is as Citizen AWOL. But more to the point, like we can come to a deeper meaning and sense of that through our collaboration, through the individual contribution, through the tone of a fucking beat. Like you send me a beat and it's got a certain tone, I'm gonna come out with fucking okay, well this reminds me of fucking, if I was someone that was like a fucking oh, okay, this reminds me of John Malkovich, being John Malkovich and the fucking puppet master that entered his mind. And that's like a metaphor. So this beat, for some reason, reminds me of that. So I'm going to talk about fucking ESPTSD, having
Mm.
PTSD from fucking having someone in your mind. I'm the person in your mind. It's like I'm the person in my own mind. I drive myself fucking nuts. So like I gotta put up with my shit 24 fucking 7, man. Like, but yeah, like for real, man. Like, when it comes to the album, though, Capo, Ed Scissor, big names, big features from the UK. I got a lot of love for the UK scene. I got a lot of origins when it comes to my beatboxing and writing in the UK scene, and some of the other artists, yourself, K-Saulz,
Thank you,
US
brother.
artists.
Absolutely, as I said,
Um,
pleasure and honor, man, being on the track, bruv. And it was a banger as well. As soon as I
it's
heard that,
fucking
I was like, definitely want to do. Actually, I wanted to go on a few of the tracks, but it is what it is. I'm a beat whore. People know me for that, and then so fucking, I just want to jump on everything, man. So, but
well.
nah.
So I got I got a producer from the US who's also rapping on one of the tracks. His name's Prince Predator, and I think I linked the show or yourself to some of these Instagram pages. And he sent me a verse in the day before you sent me your verse in for a different track, and um, for me, it's like he just sent me a bunch of beats in exchange for doing album artwork for him. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll fuck with that. Like he's given me a bunch of beats, and so I might have to update you with a folder too, man. Because the thing is, like, I keep getting more and more beats, and it's like I'm gonna have to whatever ones right, like whatever ones right themselves with the artists, they're the ones that are gonna stay there, and then maybe the other beats are for the great artists too,
Mm.
where I invest whatever comes from the great artist one into the US scene and try to get I don't know, like fuck man, I want to get a feature with fucking Aesop, bro. Aesop Rock.
Yeah.
That's my goal, bro. Yeah, I could get a feature with Aesop Rock,
Mate,
like
he's one
fuck
of my
that.
he's one of my favorite, man. Like his songs you have to fucking listen to many times. You have to digest some of the metaphors and stuff. Amazing writer, one of the best, man. Like I'd say from the US, 100%. And as I said, his
Mm,
tracks of like as I said, you
yeah,
have to listen to him so many
absolutely.
times.
So many times, like, but the value is in that expressive symbolic language, right? And
Mm.
everyone each to their own too, because some people might want something a bit more uppity, or I like Freddie
More
Gibbs,
easily
man. Like I fuck with
digestible.
Freddie
Like
Gibbs. I
like
love his energy, his
yeah,
flow.
yeah, yeah. Like it's different moods, different things. But as an artist
But
yourself,
imagine
you
if you mix. Well, imagine if you mix those artists. Imagine
mm,
if you give Freddie Gibbs' flow pattern to fucking Aesop Rock.
mm,
Like Aesop Rock's flow patterns are dope, but I'm just saying, like, you give Freddie Gibbs sort of cadence and you know, like that
mm.
kind of sort of, stays to then Aesop. in his linguistics. Like that's a cool combo. And
Mm,
having listened to different demographics and different areas and different rappers and different skill sets and different styles, like I can take something. I can always not take, but like
mm,
learn something. That's what I mean by take. And I think Aesop is like a feature that I'd love to fucking aim for, someone. Billy Woods is another one. I fuck some Billy Woods heaps, man. Like he's dope. Um, but I want to bring it back to the UK as well if I was to do another album, which I would, and I fucking goddamn motherfucking will. I'm fucking gonna bring it back to the UK too and be like, who wants to jump on these tracks with these artists? So
mm,
this is like a great artist operates as a business card. You put your something into it. I got these these guys want to work, and I've got their contributions. You want to put some work into it, like we can all build together and keep bridging the US and the UK scenes and the AUS scene,
mm.
as well. So like we got some pretty fucking dope artists around the world, man, and we all need. I want to hear Ed Scissor and Aesop Rock. I want to hear a
Mm.
fucking track with those two. Like I want to hear that shit happen, and I'm gonna make that shit happen. So I'm manifesting that, bro. That's
There
my
was
destiny.
Ren and Prof put out a tune, didn't they?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That was a dope track. But obviously Ren's all right. I don't rate him massively. Like the thing is, I want to like Ren, and this is what I said to somebody. Like he doesn't seem like I don't know. He doesn't seem like an MC to me. Do you know what I mean? Like a rapper. I
Ren.
think
Mm,
he's a singer
mm.
who can also rap pretty good as well. He's a bit like for me, he's a bit like I mean no disrespect to him because he can write and stuff and he's got a great delivery, he can sing all that sort of stuff. As an artist, can't fault him really. But I wouldn't say as a hip hop, I wouldn't call him a hip hop MC, and he wouldn't call himself that anyway. I wouldn't call him an
Yeah,
MC, a rapper, or anything. He's a singer who can rap,
yeah,
personally.
yeah.
But he'd obviously had
I,
the
I
opportunity to work with Prof, and Prof I fucking rate, man. Prof ain't all
dude,
wordy and
Prof's dope.
stuff, but the way he
Insane.
presents it is fucking amazing. And I like his humor. You see him in his music so
Mm,
much.
fun.
Some certain rappers aren't really themselves sometimes when they rap. They get into like, and that's fine if you want to get into a persona and stuff. That's all good. You do that, but do you know what I mean? Like, but as Prof, you feel like you really feel that's him. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. No, no. And seeing that like to the fullest embodiment. Yeah,
Mm,
like really, really him. Really, really expressive. But those flow cadence pockets that he has is absolutely like a very sharpened high skill that only Prof has.
mm,
And that's some fucking like his like funky shit that he comes off with like, oh man, like Prof's like someone to always listen to. Those that want an artist with absolute just cadence and flow off the walls and fun. I think hip hop should be fun too. Like I think what you do should be fun. You should be
mm.
having fun with what you're doing. It shouldn't just be all like doom and gloom or serious. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you can have fun with that. And Prof is the prime example of cadence, flow, and fun.
Yeah,
Like peak,
100%.
one of the peak artists. And witty as fuck, witty as hell. So
Yeah.
he's
He's the
someone,
kind of artist
like,
you want to hang out with, isn't he? And I think I'd love to fucking
oh
hang out
fuck
with
it.
Prof for like a day. Do you know what I mean? I think we'd have a fucking proper laugh. Go and get
Absolutely.
smashed with him.
Yeah. Like, yeah, yeah. But like the artists that I want to work with are artists like that, that really push my pen game, push the culture that are pushing, adding to the culture, but pushing the conventions of what we already have understood as, that's dope. It's like if we're not saying someone like Aesop or Prof aren't doing something more than what we saw 10, 20 years ago, let's say 20 years ago, like they're contributing to something. They're
Mm,
pushing, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to build. We're here to contribute to the culture and the art form, and not take from it. And
mm,
um and that's what I'm here to do with Citizen AWOL is connect through that. And And I think, yeah, like some of these artists, man, anyone that listens to this podcast that wants to contribute to the album currently, you can follow the Instagram tag Ctzn Awol, Citizen CTZN underscore AWOL. You can go to my Instagram, hit me up. You know, if I'm catching your vibe and I'm down with it, like I'm sure that I'd love to have fucking feature from anyone that wants to put in to this album with, people like Capo, K-Saulz, and Scissor, and Prince Predator from the US, and Capiche from the US. He's from LA. Good dude that I've known for a while online and really respected his art form. Very creative dude. Capiche. Um, from the US, like, so there's a lot of good dope artists, and if you want to contribute, hit me up. Let's work.
Come on, man. And just to go back to as well, when you were saying about beatboxing and stuff, and obviously you said you produce as well, which you obviously produce some, tracks on your own album and stuff. Do you use beatboxing to produce your tracks at all? Do you like, does that,
So originally,
so
it's
obviously do
funny
you
as
record yourself at all or?
so with the Teacher Anima Circle album, what I was going to do was I was going to release a collector's edition soon, right?
Yeah.
The collector's edition contains voice recordings. Some of them I was working in a fucking factory at the time. I was managing a factory, bro. I was fucking managing a factory and I'm in a fucking smokehouse and all you hear is the engines roaring and the fucking smelters, and I'm just fucking like beatboxing in a corner into my phone, like, and then I'm getting the idea of the beat. I go
Yeah.
home, I've memorized that beat, but I've got the recording of it in case I foggy it up, and I go home, I like kind of like beatbox it out, I kind of feel the flow, set the set the drums up, type of drums that I want. But with the great RTs, I've got a bunch of extra beats. I want to include beat switches. I
Mm.
want to include in the composition, I want to keep it interesting and entertaining, not just like rappers on one beat. Like, um, it could be rappers on one beat, but then there's a beat switch. And maybe it's for me, or maybe it's for this artist, or maybe this artist comes in. And it's almost in this fashion where the album plays and it's kind of it 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 it's its own attention span, and it does its own maneuvers. It's for you aren't thrown off by it. It's so I really like the concept of a beat switch. I've always been doing that with beatboxing. It's like you build up a beat to another beat, but then you build on this beat and then add things into this beat,
Yeah.
showcase that, you're a
Yeah,
fucking dope
sometimes it's
motherfucker.
nice to drop the mood, isn't it? Like if a track is like, and it can change the mood of how the whole track can sound. You can keep the same beat, but maybe sometimes even the instrument changes, or even just the beat changes. But there's like either speeds up or slows down. Or I always love all that sort of shit, man. Like it
Yeah,
puts the
yeah.
listener, because music's can get a little bit dull, man, when it becomes all repetitive and shit. Just to keep the listener interested, it's
On
nice to
their
try different
toes and
things. Yeah, that's it. Like every time I record a track, man, I make it a thing that I will not record my ad libs exactly the same, i.e., that I'll try something
mm,
different, or I'll do
mm,
different overdubs, or just something to add a little bit of, like, even the way I mix tracks as well. I don't have like a setting for my, for my. I'll EQ a track right from the beginning, regardless if I
mm,
don't have any
mm.
presets or pre-savings, because I'll always mix to the track how the track is going to sound,
Yeah,
my vocals into it. Whereas some are
yeah.
some might have like presets that they might save and that they've used in another track for their vocals and it worked really well, and they just to save time they
Mm.
just quickly do that. I don't do none of that, man. Like I'll
Yeah,
mix
yeah,
everything
yeah.
from fresh because I want it to sound in
Fuck
with the
yeah.
beat. You know? Does that make sense?
And that's exactly what it sounded. When you sent that over to me, that's exactly like it's molded to the beat, like it's a part of.
Mm,
But also it's an expansion into that space. Um, I got that with listening to you because you sent that just before the show. And I was like, fuck yeah, this is gonna hype me up, you know, this is gonna like this is a nice way to wake up. Like I got like 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and I'm like, fuck yeah, another verse from someone. That's fucking and then fuck yeah, K-Saulz coming in with this angle and it's already made me so the beatbox stuff and how I linked that into beat making. It's like all my beats if I'm making the beat, so this album features other artists, other producers, right? And that was important for me because I want to connect other producers to other scenes. So
Mm.
we're rapping on a beat from I think a guy from I could be wrong, but it might be Brazil. Um, and I like that. I like that we're connected in that way. Partially though, side note, my fucking whole software and shit fucking broke down, and I don't have the patience to make beats with my brother. Uh,
Mm.
like my process is different to his, and I'm building my studio back up. But in the meantime, I wanted to highlight the international um um connection of rapping with other producers and really making an album cohesive. But then what can I do? How can I implement my beatboxing? Well, I can implement it through composition. I can
Mm.
implement it through the use of structurizing a beat build, like a build of an album, the momentum and this kind of like when we heard like Kendrick absolutely diabolically fucking destroy Drake, which was fucking great. I fucking love
Mm.
that. Um, you hear the beat switches in Euphoria, and that is, I think, a nice a nice thing that I have in common with my beatboxing that I like to include in and want to experiment with this album. So your contribution on the beat that you chose, that could be a beat switch into
Mm.
so I'm rapping something and then you're coming off a beat switch, but it's the same theme. It's the same or the same vibe and aura. Obviously, I
It could be
throw
the
it back to you.
same.
I'm like, do you like this?
It could be the same like rhythm of beat, but just different
Yeah,
instruments in terms of like how
that's
the
it.
beat sounds. Yeah.
And a lot of the beats, I did choose that they're in a similar pocket, in a
Yeah.
similar momentum, and a similar, but at the same time, there's different energies on them. And some of them
Yeah.
are very, very high energy, and some of them are very moody or melancholic or in the middle or dark and gritty. And but I like to play around with juxtaposing, yeah. And I think a juxtapose is absolutely like I'm trying to balance the beats out so I can compositionally juxtapose them and the features. So some artists I might rap the full beat with, but shortly thereafter that track it's going to drop into this in
Mm.
this way. Or I might even feature. And I was thinking, I told Capo, I was like, would you be cool if I beatbox some of it? And I might have beatbox breakdowns in some of the beats. So the track you hear today might only be unique to this listening because I might go back over and beat switch some part or beatbox only like some breakdowns of the beat with Capo. And he was cool with that. He's like, yeah, just run it by me, bounce it back and forth until we're both happy with this compositional, experimentation. And he's cool with that. And I like working with artists that want to play around a bit too and like have a
Mm.
bit of fun. Like it keeps the auditory listen and journey interesting as well because there's a lot of fucking bar work, dude, and it's dense work. And I know I write like a fictionary. So so I'm I want to keep it interesting as well and enjoyable and
Mm.
playful and
Mm.
accessible in spaces. And that is how I feel you can expand on that. You can play on that is compositionally as well. And by the artists who rap with too. You got to complement one another. Like and I think your energy and cadence, then I know the cadence and energy I want to bring because it might be either here or here or here.
Mm.
It's like where I'm going to bounce off you, and I know what to do, and I'm looking for to build on that with others. Yeah, it's that building on, and that's exactly the fucking thing that Capo and I did. Like he came with sticks and stones, are prone to break bones, but I know words that will make a grown man take a long stroll and never turn back. And I love that fucking line.
Mm.
And what I say was after that, I built on in my own way. So the concept of sticks and stones. Um, I say, um, the hands I wear by Michelangelo to timber in your brick. Um, I carve the mountain granite be the stature of the will I shift.
Mm,
Unmovable and unmovable and force unstoppable as force I am. I sculpt the broken bones and tally sticks. And so it's a play on that bricks, broken bones, sticks and stones.
mm,
And I've tried to build on what Capo added architecturally and the message and and to addition something, not just, like just throw whatever verse. It's like how are we going to collaborate? And that's about building. And I think Capo and I achieved the embodiment of exactly what I'm trying to do. And what I think we all are trying to do as human beings in essence is
mm.
what we like you're sitting in a studio and they're, surrounded by inventions that were ideas, built on ideas, and that's what we are, right? As human beings, we create tools from new plateaus and creating tools from more plateaus.
Mm.
So
We're
so
creative
I'm trying
beings,
to
man. We can't
embody
say
in
that's
essence.
anything we can be, but just being honest in how we do it, you know. That's our main purpose,
That's it.
just to be, man. Be in the most honest form, you know.
That's it, bro. That's it.
Wherever that expression comes from, you know. Some people they're more like they're like caregivers, you know. People they're really good at sort of helping people in that sense, and other people are might be. I mean, we're all, you know, everybody's got that element in them, but then you might get people who are more good with their hands, and there might be more people who might be. Do you know what I mean? So everybody's got their gift or whatever it might be in
Well,
their
then
way
you
of
got a
expressing it, man.
breakdancer,
Yeah,
or a choreographer.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Everyone has different skills and different contributions to tools and
That's
and
it.
so I understand that caretaker. I understand that because I worked in disability support for a while. I was a disability support worker and helped individuals in programs. So I used hip hop as a tool.
Mm,
So there was this guy, Sammy, and he came in and he would just be like, "I love hip hop," and we had a nickname for him, and then we started recording tracks, and you know, through that, it built his confidence, and we saw that him exploring this avenue built
mm,
his confidence to the point where, he's like his own entity and his own identity, and it's building on offering, being a caretaker to, like, I think embodying all that human quality
mm,
is absolutely, it will show through your work. It will show
mm-hmm,
through who you are. It will show through what you're contributing and how you conduct that.
mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm.
and and yeah, you could. I'm a fucking human line reader, man. I could see through people's bullshit a mile away, and that's just because I was around the fucking bullshit artists. So like, when you're around bullshit artists, you know how to fucking tell them apart.
Mm,
And you either become them or you become the polar opposite.
mm.
And fortunately, I became the polar opposite. So I could tell, like
So do you?
I can tell.
Obviously, so whereabouts in Australia are you from? Sorry, I forgot to ask. I think you did mention to me. Is it Melbourne?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll keep it at Melbourne. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to
Yeah,
tell
we'll
people,
keep it
do
at
you?
Melbourne. Melbourne, so south. One apparently it was meant to be one of the most sought after tourist destinations in Australia.
Yeah,
Um, but we're experiencing a broken window theory, if you've heard of that, where it's like you see a few broken windows in the outer suburbs, and
yeah.
that says more about, like how the city isn't maintaining itself. Melbourne, though, beautiful place, awesome scene. A lot of respect for the hip hop scene there. A lot of respect for a lot of artists there. I was very inspired by an artist that came out of well, I heard of him earlier on, Mantra, and he was in a group, Illzilla, and there was a feature with another guy, Pulse Transporter. I think they're all Victorian. So from Victoria, Melbourne, um, they're artists that I fucking, I grew up on listening to when I was like 17, 18, and I'm like, oh my God, these really dope rappers, local. Almost like that's like a fucking hour and a half train ride from where I was. Sick. I'll go fucking, like go check out their show. I'll go and meet them. I'm like, I was just literally listening to your CD, learning from you. Like, fuck, bro, like that's dope. Um, it's crazy, and yeah, yeah. So that's my like kind of location, but like you know, we're all here together, man. We're all here together at the end of the day. We're all, people that know me. People that know Teacher Anima know Teacher Anima, and but I pay a lot of respect to the scene and the people that built and but I also think don't always believe the bullshit. Don't always believe what you hear, like have some critical thinking about what you know about someone. That's my
Mm-hmm.
message to the world. Just have
Mm-hmm.
some critical thinking. Like, and if you don't know them, don't make your mind up. Like, you don't know. And
Mm.
that's some teenage shit if you think about that. So it's really important to know that, at the end of the day, um, you know, I'm I'm excited about experimenting with who can, basically I I just see as an absolute fucking challenge or a threat to the 10 work, and I wanna see what I can build with you. And Melbourne, um, you wouldn't catch me doing a local show because I'm a father too. You wouldn't catch me doing a local show because it's like that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time away from my family that I cannot sacrifice. I can, however, build on the music and record the music and sing the
Mm.
music with her. She came in the recording studio when I was doing the capo track, and I had the headphone up to her ear. And that's her first experience of listening to what that whole thing would have been to her, like recording and oh, this is a headphone and there's music coming from it, and that's Papa's voice.
Mm.
Calls me Papa, and it's like I'm here to build on human experience, not build on anything else. So yeah, that's me, man. But I'm
Yeah,
gonna
man. So
say
in
I can't
terms,
wait.
yeah, obviously in terms of the album,
Mm,
have you got a sort of release date plan for it at all, or
mid. I'm just gonna leave it as mid to
just
mid
mid?
late
Just leave it as mid.
2026.
Thanks.
Mid.
We'll leave it
It's
at mid. It's just mid.
I'm aiming for July.
Yeah.
Next year, 26. I'm aiming for July, and so far everything's going pretty fucking smooth. So I recently like moved and everything, and so that was a bit of a spanner in the work because you have to kind of like pack up, deconstruct your studio, build it again, all this and all that. But yeah, 2026, mid 2026, July, late July, I'm aiming for.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man. And are you going to
And
be doing a load of videos and stuff for it? Are you going to try to perform any of this out, or you said obviously you can't perform at the moment, but I mean, is that something you like doing? Have you performed out in terms of being an MC? I know
oh,
you've done
I'm
beatboxing, but
oh, dude. So through beatboxing, that built my stage presence, and
mm,
over the years, like and battling too. Like I did battling, like as a beatboxer, beatbox battles, and that shit's psychological, dude. But you really learn the stage, you learn your body, and
mm,
I used to start to want to be a b-boy. Like originally, I watched You Got Served and fucking and all these other films, and I was like, I want to fucking break dance before I learned to beatbox and rap. And, like I'm very body conscious in that sense of movement and momentum. If you go check out one of Teacher Anima's, so my other alter ego, one of their music videos, Vij Nana, Vij um Nana. It's just this orchestration of hand movement. And people ask me if it's Auslan, and I make my own music videos, so I will be putting out videos. I will be, and I'm constructing a few videos at the moment. One is for SPTSD, which is a track that will be played, yeah, or has been played on the show now.
Mm.
And Weapon Hood is another track that I'm going to have a music video for. I will be dropping singles. I will be dropping music videos, and some of those will be featuring some of the big names in some sort of way. The music video though, like how that's going to play out. I'm just going to get real creative with it. If you go check out Tita Anima's music videos, you'll know that I can create a pretty creative music video with a pedestal fan and a fucking mobile phone. So it doesn't take much. It's just you gotta have a bit of patience and you know create around and explore. Because you can make some pretty fucking dope shit.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, I'm gonna
There's a
be
lot you can get so much of the you can get all the software and stuff quite easily these days now, and it's not that most people, if you've got a phone as you said and a laptop, you can pretty much and just download one of these you know video editing suites and you're fucking
one of
good
the
to go,
ones
bro. Do you know what I mean?
one of the ones that's really good because it's meant to be an extraction from Adobe Premiere
Yeah,
is an app called Adobe Rush. You should fucking sponsor me, Adobe. Like, but Adobe Rush I use for chopping and then finalizing a
yeah,
music video if I was to make it on my phone. And that works really well until you're banking up heaps. So you got to extract your files and then save your files into a OneDrive so you can free up your space and all that. So it's running smooth. But I use that as a kind of either chopping up or using the opacity so I can overlay through video or sequencing. Um, it's kind of limited to some stuff, but if you have a few apps, you can go do this stuff, this type of work with music, this video editing app, and then you can finish it off with this video editing app, and then run it through this video editing app to give it this film-like grit. And by the end of it, as long as you're aware of the quality and you're not paying too much of a subscription, you've got a pretty fucking decent quality video, and you've got some fucking interesting creative stuff that you could have just done at home while you're being a father or
mm,
being a parent,
mm.
you know?
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, I got music videos here that I'm gonna be dropping. I'm gonna keep dropping snippets. Stay tuned, and I think probably one of the earlier tracks that will be released will one of the singles will be the Capo track. So you'll hear it today, and you will. But this is the thing: if you wanna support the artists that create the music, you got to go to the Bandcamp.
Yeah,
So
man.
Citizen AWOL, I'm gonna have that Bandcamp through a link tree or in a bio on my Citizen AWOL Instagram. I'm not running a Facebook, it's just Instagram,
Yeah,
and you can
Facebook's
just tap it
pants
there.
anyway, man. I only have it to really just keep in touch with certain friends and stuff. But yeah, I mean, when I post my stuff through Instagram, some of them goes onto Facebook, but some of my because I've got loads of different Instagram accounts for different things, but some of them don't even have a Facebook page, man. It's like I can't be bothered with it. But
Mm,
it's good you can set it up without it because before you used to have Facebook to be able to
mm.
have Instagram and vice versa, but they changed all that, so you don't have to have it.
That's it, man. That's it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep drip feeding content, and you're gonna see it start to build up. There's a lot of US artists that I'm working with, and some UK artists that I'm still. And there's another big name that I haven't confirmed to, well, disclose. Sorry, I have confirmed. I just I want to leave it at a surprise. And there's a few artists from the US I want to leave as a surprise, and so stay tuned, man. Come to the page, and most importantly, follow K-Saulz, man. Follow Dick Dastardly. Check out the show and keep up to date with this because you're gonna meet interesting artists from different parts of the world. I'm linking artists with your show, so hopefully you're gonna get an opportunity to talk to someone like Prince Predator, um,
Mm.
or 90 Wise, or this dude or that dude. So these are artists that I consider dope and we're trying to I'm offering that bridge too, and trying to like facilitate in whatever way I possibly can. So let's keep
100%,
building,
bro.
you know.
And obviously, if we've
Let's
got
keep building.
collaborations and stuff as well, I've got a couple of albums that are in the making. So obviously, we get you
Got to check
involved,
that
and
out then.
yeah, 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 and we get you involved as well. That's just how it all starts, man. You make connections, and then you collaborate, and you build new things, and then because like. There's been beautiful moments in my sort of making music. Like there was a moment where
Mm.
I started to I approached Ill Sykes to jump on a project, right?
So
A project with World
also,
of
yeah, also
Ghosts.
so
So it was a project with a group duo called World of Ghosts. Big up World of Ghosts, Context and Clarity, and yeah, those two fucking guys are sick, man. With obviously the bars, but the beats as well. It's all that dark vibe. But anyway, Ill Sykes jumped on the track. And then within about a week or two, no, a couple of days, maybe I think maybe a few days, I was speaking to another artist called Scrolls the Mystic. Big up Scrolls the Mystic. Scrolls the Mystic was like, look, let's make some beats together. Let's make some tracks together. He was a sick producer, sick spitter as well.
mm,
He sent me a couple of
yeah,
tracks, and I said, oh, by the way, I've got an album, well, an EP that I'm dropping with Ill Sykes on it. Do you want to jump on the track and jump on the
fuck
track on
yeah,
the album? On the EP,
yeah.
sorry. And he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, like so so
That's how
um
it happens.
so yeah, and so he jumped on the track and he goes, do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna contact Il Sykes now. He contacted Il Sykes, and then within like 1 hour, he said, look, I've just chatted to Il Sykes. Obviously, I said I knew you, kind of jumping on an EP with you. And obviously he's already heard my stuff anyway. He's been following my Instagram page. And I've got a couple of tracks. Do you want to jump on it with him? And I was like, yeah.
So
So I obviously, from me knowing Il Sykes, I obviously told Il Sykes about Scrolls. You already knew about Scrolls anyway. And then from me
yeah, yeah.
speaking to Scrolls, that fucking whole circle happened. And then we created a group called Death Seekers with
There you
Scrolls
go.
the Mystic, me, Il Sykes, and then we brought on Milo as well later on. And
That's
that we got
dope.
some that's the tracks on that are sick, man. They're fucking yeah. Anyway, that's in the making at the moment. So that's an EP. That's Death
That's
Seekers.
dope.
Um,
That's
but
dope,
yeah, so
right?
it's just it's those moments, man, that you know make it fucking incredible. Do you know what I mean? Like
That's it, man. That's
how
it.
how just from certain little moments you can connect different people together, and this is obviously what you're doing and was what we're doing here, man. Like there's so many people say to me that because of the show they've gone on to they've gone on to find out about artists that they never would have known about. Do you know what I mean? Which just makes this shit grow more and more, man. So
And
it's what
that's
it's all
it.
about.
That's it. Connecting as artists, audience, collaborators a lot, man. And
Just as a
yeah,
community,
yeah,
man. Do you
yeah.
know what I
Like
mean? It's a
I'm
beautiful
looking
thing to do.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to what happens after the great artists and then his next step too. And collaborating. I think I even got it called another artist through Prince Predator who was producing. He just reposted one of my reels of me spitting over his beats. And I got this dude hitting me up from the US wanting to do a like 5 track EP. And I'm like, fuck yeah, why not?
Mm,
Like more the merrier. Collaborate, create.
that's it,
And
man.
that's it, man.
Well, look, Citizen Awol, I think
But anyway, man, look,
we will wrap it up, brother. It's been it's been an amazing conversation. We could chat all night. We do have to keep the shows relatively short. Not relatively short. Well, we've got some fucking long ones, but yeah, we try to keep it sort of relatively short so it doesn't go on for. I mean, we'd like to chat for you for 6 hours, to be honest. I would, like, as we said before in the
no, no,
last
no, no, no,
episode
I
as
get it.
well. Like, we'd love to keep chatting to people.
But
And do you know what we're gonna do? One day we will have that. We got some plans for the show anyway, but we are thinking of doing every now and again some specials where it's just going to be chatting. There's going to be no music, so it's just going to be
yeah, yeah,
talking. So we got
yeah.
that in next year. That's planned, and we got the 10 questions, which is its own little segment as well. So we might get you back on for 10 questions, where Dick
Fuck
Dastardly
yeah,
will
man.
take it, and it's a bit more deeper questions. These questions will test you a little bit, get you a bit,
That's all right, man.
yeah.
My philosophy is Dostoevsky, man, and that is the integrity of oneself. Just honesty. If I don't have honesty with myself, I can't expect any positive to happen. I have integrity then as an
That's it, man.
individual. So you
Honesty,
will,
integrity,
throw
two
your
very
tested
important
questions,
things.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw your tested questions, and I'll just Joss story my way through
Yeah, man. Dope.
it.
Well, look, is there
But
anything else you want to
it's been a
promote?
pleasure,
Anything
man.
else?
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like I want to promote, just fucking, push your pen game. Like everyone, keep pushing your pen, keep pushing your pen. Mainly just yeah, Ctzn Awol, great artist, mid 2026. Capo, it's his K-Saulz, Prince Predator, Capiche, uh, and myself, Ctzn Awol, amongst a plethora of other unannounced and incredible features.
We might
On
have Danny
production for the
DeVito
question.
turning up as well.
We might. I could be the Arnold. He could, yeah, Danny, yeah, man. Hey. But other than that, stay tuned. Batara Cardo, shout out to Cardo, shout out to yourself,
Thank
K-Saulz
you, brother.
and Dick. I hope you get better, Dick. Just, look, keep the condoms off in that excess, and I hope your eyes clear up from all the, release. But anyway, you guys, thanks for the time. Take it easy, and I really appreciate the time today. So thank you so
No, it's
much.
been a pleasure, brother. It's been a pleasure, and we will get you back on, as I said. And yeah, looking forward to working with you in the future as well, man. Really looking forward to this album. Again, a massive thank you for obviously asking me to be involved. It's been an absolute pleasure. Had a lot of fun, as I said, recording it. Just had a lot of fun writing to it, and as I said, the beat. As soon as I heard
So
it, I was like, yes.
that's it.
And I like feeling that about it. That feeling you get when you hear a beat and you just want to jump on it straight away. It's a lovely thing. So yeah,
That's
it's
it,
one of
bro.
those,
That's
man. It's
it.
one of those. I got excited about it, so that's always a
Fuck
good
yeah.
thing.
And it's a dope verse you've given me. And a
Thank you,
nice,
man.
nice bunch of cadences to work off. So after this, that's what I gotta go do. I gotta go write.
Yeah, man. I'm very excited to hear what you put together, man. Definitely. But yeah, thanks again. As I said, bro, big up yourself. Look after yourself. Keep inspiring that little one as well. And obviously other people around you. And we appreciate obviously what you're doing, trying to bridge the gap. It's much needed in the hip hop game, man, because it's obviously
Yeah.
can be a little bit, you know, as you said, some gatekeepers and all that sort of nonsense. It doesn't have to be like that, man. Just let art be art, and that's it. And that's what you're trying to do. You're bringing
Yeah.
people together. So I can only respect that. So big love to you,
Mm.
man. And yeah, we will speak very soon, my brother.
We'll chat again soon, bro. Take it
Thank
easy,
you.
guys.